I said, please print out every warranty claim you've ever done so I can give it to this lawyer. 268 pages of warranty work on this car in 2 years that I had it. I was a weirdo when I was, 17, 18 shopping for cars. I really liked Lincolns, and I had some MKXs. Long story short, they were totaled, and I was looking for an MKZ. I found one specifically. I don't know why I liked the car so much, but it had the big panoramic roof that could go over the whole back windshield. It was just such a cool car at the time, and I was really looking for that specific spec. The dealership out in Bayshore, New York had one, but it had aluminum trim instead of wood. Again, weirdo, I love wood trim in a car, not aluminum. I wasn't going to buy the car with aluminum, but it was on the island. It had good mileage. I wanted to check it out anyway. I asked them, I was like, I wanted wood. They were like, we could actually switch the trim out for you. That's the first time a Lincoln dealer has ever offered something. This isn't Porsche, but okay, cool. He said, come down, you can go for a 4-hour test drive in it. I went down and, the car's in the shop. I came down just to drive this. Well, we have a white one you can drive just for 4 hours to see if you like the car. Take it, run your errands in it, see if it works for you. The guy's like, but you're 17. I knew the salesman. His daughter had actually went to my school, and we lived in the same town. So I had, seen him dropping her off at school, and when I kind of knew him a little bit. So he's like, you're 17, you're not covered under our dealer insurance. Do not crash this MKZ. So I won't. It's 4 hours. What am I going to do? I took it back to my hometown, showed it to some friends, took my mom for a ride. Loved it. I actually loved it so much, I was considering the white one without the roof. And on the way home, back to the dealership, 7:30 p.m., traffic comes to a stop, and this family in a Sienna just slams into the back of it hard. So CPO sticker's still on the windshield. So the cops are coming and clowning me like, it's not a CPO anymore. I was like, it's not even my car, dude. You're not hurting me. And they did the crash report, whatever, and I had to call this manager up and tell him, the whole MKZ said don't crash it. It's crashed. And he was like, are you kidding me? Bring it back to the dealership. I was like, you want me to drive it? Do I still gas it up to the same amount you gave it to me? Is this still, is the contract still valid? I drove it back. The thing wouldn't go over 35 miles an hour. Not even because of a computer thing. It wasn't even mechanically damaged. I don't know. It wouldn't go over 35, and I pulled into the service bay at 9:30 p.m., long after they should have been home. The manager just throws his hands up. He's like, I'm done. I'm going home. And the salesman had to, write up the whole report, and they called me. They were like, what's your insurance? I was like, not my problem. Ask his insurance. I'm not giving you my insurance. Didn't buy the car from him. Saw him every day there after dropping his daughter off at school. Bad blood. Especially when I went and I bought my actual MKZ. I went up to the only other one in the country, and it was at a dealership just north of Long Island. I'm not even sure if I could say the name because of the settlement we reached, but this car, they had a 1-year-old car with 14,000 miles on it in loaded out spec. And as I'm checking it out, they're telling me, it was the owner of the dealership's personal car. He pulled up in a 2016, current model year, in the same spec, same black on black, same roof, same rims, same everything. He's like, yeah, I just, when they reach a year old, I sell them while they still have some resale, and all that was understandable. So I was like, this wasn't a loaner car though, right? Because I see it was registered to you guys as a commercial vehicle. It was no loaner car. It was my personal car. No customer has ever touched it. I know everything that happened with the car since day one. One of the only things I noticed was that the massage seat on the driver's side just didn't work. When you press the button, it grayed out on the screen, just glitched, and that was it. And there was some rocker panel damage. I wanted it taken care of. It was a CPO car. So I go to pick the car up, and there's no spare key, which is a violation of CPO. It says it right there. You're supposed to get 2 keys. The rocker panel wasn't fixed, despite the fact that they told me come back in 3 days and it would be fixed. And the massage seat still didn't work. And I go, well, it's of course it's gonna work. It's a warranty. You have 3 more years on this. It's manufacturer's warranty. They can't not fix it. I was like, well, what about the rocker panel? He goes, oh, we did do that. And pulls out a receipt from a body shop for the rocker panel damage. But I'm like, I'm looking at the rocker panel. You didn't paint this. And he goes, I don't know what happened here. I was like, yeah, you better figure that one out. So he's like, all right, just take the car, enjoy it, come back in a little bit. We'll repaint the rockers. So I brought it back to them in about I want to say it was 2 weeks or so. I had fun with the car, and it had kind of started to develop a little bit of an issue with shifting. And now if you know MKZs, it's not good. The thing only had 18,000 miles, but on my birthday, the transmission actually went out. I had it towed to the local dealer, and they put a transmission in it, and then immediately I had it towed from them back to the selling dealer so they could rectify the issues. I was like, listen, I'm still in a loaner car, whatever. No, we have to put you in one of our loaner cars, so give that one back and come down. 2.5 hours, I drive down there, they don't have a loaner car. So what do you expect me to do? I live 2.5 hours away from you guys. I'm not walking home. Like, no, I'll come back in another week. Come back in a week, same thing. They fixed the rocker panel now. They didn't do anything else. I said, what about the massage seat? You guys promised me the massage seat. Took 4 more times, and the car had actually started riding really rough, like it wasn't absorbing bumps, and I'd gotten a CCD, which is the continuously controlled damper system. I'd gotten a message that it wasn't functioning, so I was like, clearly something's wrong. They're like, no, this rides like every other MKZ we've ever driven. I said, the message on the dashboard says otherwise. 4 more times it took to go back and forth. Finally, on the 4th time, I got so fed up, I said, you have to come for a ride with me and feel what I'm feeling. It's not fair. It's not an MKZ, that something's wrong. So the service manager, who was a complete scumbag, comes in a ride, and we're driving. I was like, every time I hit a bump, like the sunroof was like falling out of its thing. I was like, this isn't normal. And then I was like, did you guys fix a massage seat? He looks at me dead in the eyes and says, your car never came with massage seats. I said, yes, it did. The button's right here. There was no button. So the most ridiculous thing was, I looked at him and I said, the passenger seat still functions. It's right there on the nav screen. How are you going to tell me the car doesn't have massage seats when the passenger still works? They switched my seats out for ones that didn't have massage seat, even though it still had it on the window sticker, and that switch was there when I bought the car and everything. Like, yeah, your car just doesn't have it, sorry. I was like, no, we're not going down this road. Like, this is a certified pre-owned car. Then the Bondo started cracking on the door. Admittedly, this was the first car I didn't absolutely scrutinize. I mean, I was a lot more anal about cars. I wasn't just driving barn finds around the country. When I was 17, I was spending, decent money on good cars to not be scared of them. So I didn't really check this out, thinking a whole certified by Lincoln that it was never in an accident. Bondo starts cracking off. Turns out half the car was Bondo. I didn't notice this back then. I didn't know paint like that. And it was crashed by the dealership owner and fixed in the basement and not reported to insurance and sold to me as a certified pre-owned car. And they're stealing parts out. And it was a whole mess. I had entered into litigation with that dealership, and I had to start using other dealers in Long Island. And I ruined my relationship with every single Lincoln dealership because every time I tried to call and make an appointment, there was a case open with Lincoln themselves. I mean, every time I tried to make an appointment, they would say, all right, great, we'll see you on this date. And then call me back 5 minutes later and say, we can't touch your car. It's in the middle of a whole bunch of issues right now. Like, we can't touch this. There's way too many warranty pages open. The only dealership that would touch it was Huntington Lincoln. And I was driving a lot of miles at that point, so they weren't thrilled because I kept ruining their loaner cars. They actually ended up reserving one MKZ just for me. Like, every time I got back in it, it had the same mileage because I was ruining loaners like so fast. They would be giving me these loaners with 1,000 miles on them, like 2-month-old MKXs and whatnot, and I'd give them back like 7,000 to 8,000 miles. So they weren't happy because they wanted to sell them at like 3 or 4. So this dealership really tried to do their best to help me, but even then, they just couldn't. The ticket's open for this warranty claim with the massage seat at this dealership. You got to go back to them. Finally, the lady told me, we can't service your car here anymore. There's just too many issues. I said, please print out every warranty claim you've ever done so I can give it to this lawyer. 268 pages of warranty work on this car in 2 years that I had it. I drove loaners more than I drove that car, period. Now, from what I know, it was such an egregious fraud and everything, and I should have went to the news and all that, but Lincoln actually had stepped in and forced them to do the right thing. So I had gotten a check back for the exact amount that I paid, $33,000 for the car. I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, this is lemon law. Where do you want me to drop this car off? They're like, keep it. So I had a check for $33,000 and the car. And the car was worthless at this point. I had 80-something thousand miles. I ruined it like I do all my cars. So I went and I traded it in on a brand new Lincoln Continental. And I went through 3 of those. Every single one was hit by an uninsured driver. And that was the last time I tried messing with Lincolns.
This month of VINwiki Car Stories is brought to you by Bridgestone, and the most exciting news out of Bridgestone is the brand new release of their Alenza Prestige tire. The Alenza Prestige Highway tire is for drivers who want a long-lasting, elegant, and comfortable ride without compromising at all on wet weather performance. Amazing tire that features their next generation Enlighten technology, as well as their Quiet Track technology. An in-groove feature designed to reduce tread pattern noise combined with a wide center rib that helps to deliver deliver a whisper-quiet ride with comfortable and responsive handling. So check them out now at the link in the description below to learn more about the Alenza Prestige tires from Bridgestone and the entire Bridgestone family of products.